Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite things, finesse worm fishing. I catch a ton of fish every year on finesse worms, yum finesse worms, zoom finesse worms, all of it. We're going to go underwater. We're going to check out finesse worm fishing. We're going to show you all the tips and tricks. We're going to talk about Nico rigging, Ned rigging, stupid rigging, all the kinds of things that we do on the finesse worm. Hope you enjoy it. Let's head out and head underwater. We'll see you out there. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. My absolute favorite way to fish a finesse worm is actually on a Bubba shot rig or a drop shot rig. I've made so many videos doing just that, catching lots of fish. I feel like presenting a finesse worm weedless on a drop shot rig is the #1 way that I catch bass in pressured lakes. I catch bass in bad conditions. For whatever reason, the finesse worm paired up on the Bubba shot is an absolutely deadly combination, but I don't want to spend a whole lot of time doing that underwater today because I have a bunch of videos out. So I'm going to link some videos up at the top here. Check those out if you want to see what the Bubba rig is all about. It's just a fantastic way to get bites in pressured situations. When we're talking finesse, we're talking about I need to get a bite. So here's that zoom finesse worm underwater on a drop shot rig. It looks deadly, as you can see here. I love the green pumpkin with chartreuse tip on it. That is my go-to in 90% of the water that I am fishing when I'm fishing northern grass lakes in Indiana. You can't go wrong with that combination right there, but let's head to the other baits. Alright guys, so the first way that I like to throw the yum finesse worm here is on a lifted jigs EWG Ned head. And this allows you to fish the rig weedless through all of these areas. I like an 1/8 ounce jig head, and I really enjoy the yum finesse worm because it stands up great. I add a small piece of toothpick to the tail to get that nice vertical motion, but this worm has a nice tail generated motion. And we're going to talk about why the tail generated motion really works good on a finesse worm, but in any finesse worm you want the tail to really work for you. So here is the zoom finesse worm in a different color on the lifted jig, and as you can see, that tail generated motion is going to become super important. When you're fishing a finesse rig, you're trying to literally be as quiet and stealthy as possible. You're fishing clear water, you're fishing pressured fish, or you're fishing a situation where the fish are not in a positive mood. You're trying to fish things that are ultra realistic and that have a sound and pressure wave just like a normal bait fish profile, a normal predator responses from the bass. To feel that vibration and feel that tail motion comes from that subtle kick of the worm. And that becomes really important the more pressured a fishery gets. I'm a big believer in fish being able to sense and feel the way baits are moving. So when I really want to dumb it down here, I go to this bruiser bait 5-inch Senko, and I call this stupid worming. And we stupid worm a lot. Literally, I'm going to throw a Senko type bait on a jig head, and it's going to give me that secondary subtle action, and it looks stupid, but it catches fish. For whatever reason, this subtle bait that lays on the bottom, falls down, doesn't do a whole lot, that pressure wave that it creates in the water is what makes fish bite it. I'm a huge believer in that. Watching the underwater video, you can see that even when this bait is touching the bottom, it is not disturbing anything. It's creating these small, tiny pressure waves. Here you have the zoom, or the, a Zinker Z by Z-Man. And this bait is great for stupid worming. It's heavy, it casts a long way on an 1/8 ounce jig head. You can fish it through anything, but it has that secondary motion, that almost non-motion, if you will, that really makes it stand out when you're stupid worming. So when I'm finesse worming or stupid worming, I'm really looking for that secondary motion. Now, as we're filming, I got a great clip here of a fish coming through, and we're gonna look at that compared to my next bait, which is the Poor Boys Darter. I fish it on a lifted jig head too, and literally this bait looks like a darter or a minnow coming along the bottom. And it's the tail generated motion that is ultra important on this bait. That Poor Boys bait is very soft, it's very pliable, It also doesn't create a pressure wave on the bottom. You can see it slowed down here. This bait literally creates almost no pressure wave except for a tail kick. Now, as we've got the footage here really slowed down, I want you to focus on the upper right hand portion of the screen because a bait fish is going to swim by. And we look at swim baits all the time with a constant tail kick, and we look at fish with constant tail kick. Bait don't actually swim that way. They glide through a lot of what they're doing. They give 2 or 3 kicks and then they glide. So watch this fish come through here. You got a nice body roll and kick right there. Now watch. It's gliding right there, just like a finesse worm. You got that tail generated motion. It's still gliding down that path right there, and it doesn't kick again until, 3/4 of the way out of the frame. There's the other kick. So you got to really think about that when you're presenting ultra realistic or ultra finesse baits. You want to make it look like what the fish are seeing. And here comes this bait again. You see that tail kick and glide, tail kick and glide, tail kick and glide, just like what that bait fish is doing as it's coming through the water. Sometimes these baits don't look like they have a lot of action, but that tail kick and glide really matters. Right? The Ned head just gets it to where you want it to be. It allows you to fish the bottom. It allows you to fish the whole column, but it still allows that bait to shine with the tail kick and glide and doesn't overpower it. So our next rigging option here is the Nico Rig. Nico Rig is simply putting a nail weight in the head of the worm, running a hook through a keeper around that bottom third of the worm and hopping it around. And it really accentuates the tail kick on the worm. It also takes any hard noise out of the package because it is literally a soft plastic with a weight inside of it hooked on there. You can see the Biospawn Exo stick here from another video. It does a fantastic job. Now, sometimes that action can be too much or just right on the Nico Rig. You kind of got to feel it out and see. But a Nico Rig, even though it is an exposed hook, comes through weeds very good. As you can see here, with that hook facing upwards, you have very little opportunity to snag anything on it. The Exo stick looks really good in that specific application. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed going underwater to talk about finesse. It's a great way to catch fish. We have a lot of confidence in throwing that Nico Rig, throwing that drop shot, throwing a bunch of different things. It's always good to be able to be up on your finesse game. Let us know in the comment section what you want to see from us in the future, guys. We're growing. We want to give you videos that you want to see. We got a lot of underwater video and a lot of content coming up. Let us know what you want to see in the comment section. Go support us at Sportsman's Outfitters. Go support us at Woo Tungsten. Go support us at Six Gill Fishing, guys. Get gear that we believe in, that we use all the time. Hey, we don't have sponsors. We don't have any of that stuff. We throw what we believe in. We want you guys to have confidence in what we're telling you. So let us know in the comment section what you want to see in the future. Go support us at our different links, and we'll see you out there, guys.